Okay, good evening, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Wednesday, the 17th day of September in the year 2025. This is a special meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 6 p.m. start. The clock on my cell phone is showing 6:01 p.m. May I have a roll call for the commencement of this special meeting? Councilperson Ridley.
It's on.
Here.
Councilperson Hewlings.
Present. I didn't hear.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Yeah.
Councilperson Saleh. No. Not here yet. Councilperson Solomon's not here yet. Councilperson Gilmore. Councilperson DeGise is not here yet. Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
And Council President Waterman.
Here.
Thank you. We have 6 council members in attendance at 6:01 p.m. Can we kindly rise for a moment of silence, please? And because the audio wasn't on in the beginning of the meeting at the September 10th meeting, I just wanted to reiterate Happy Boar, to dedicate the moment of silence to long-term employee Happy Boar and to Carol Napolitano, long-term Jersey City resident. Thank you very much. And for the record, Councilperson Saleh, I said Saleh, is here at 6:02 p.m. So we now have 7 council members present at 6:02. On behalf of Council President Waterman and the members of the Municipal Council, in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor, the annual notice, City Hall, which is the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2025, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Friday, November 15th, 2024. Notice of this meeting was also sunshined on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 1:36 p.m. And in addition, at the time of its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 at 3:06 p.m. to the mayor, municipal council, business administrator, corporation council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website. So I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct a public hearing on the budget, the 2025 budget amendment, and to consideration for final adoption of the municipal budget. The 2025 municipal budget was introduced on April 23rd. A public hearing on the 2025 municipal budget was held on July 16th, 2025. Let the record reflect Councilperson Solomon present at 6:04 p.m. So we now have 8 council members present at 6:04. The 2025 budget amendment was introduced on September 10th, 2025. The legal advertisement of the 2025 budget amendment was published in the Bergen Record on Friday, September 12th, 2025, which meets the 3-day notice requirement. The Municipal Council approved Resolution 25-598, which authorizes me to read the 2025 municipal budget amendment by title only into the record. And I just want to confirm that with our Corporation Council. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. We are now going to conduct a public hearing on the 2025 budget amendment. So any member of the public that's wishing to be heard, please come up to the podium, state your name for the record and spell your name for the record. And if you can just print your name on the sign-up sheet that I left there, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just so everybody knows, for housekeeping rules, We do have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to speak on the budget. That's why you see the two clocks.
Got it.
Okay?
Anthony Migliore, spelled Migliore, Ward F.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Migliore. I live in Ward F, and I'm a member of the Traffic Reform Warriors. Over the past few months, I've been working on a project we call Project Safe Turn. We've been reviewing intersections that are supposed to have no turn on red signs based on city ordinances. Using Google Street View and some on-the-ground checks, I've identified at least 61 intersections missing required signs. Add to that another 42 passed earlier this year that are still getting signs, and we're looking at over 100 intersections in the city where safety improvements have already been decided but not yet delivered. Say each sign costs about $300. The real barrier isn't money, it's staffing. These signs don't put themselves up. Traffic engineering team is the group that makes this happen, and they've already been stretched too thin. If anything, we need more engineers and not fewer. Last week, there was a proposal to shift $1.2 million into the Department of Infrastructure to add engineering positions and raise salaries so those jobs can actually be filled. That amendment didn't pass, but as a resident, I can tell you the need is real. Without staff, the city has slid into a reactive model where nothing gets fixed until a see-click fix ticket is filled. That's not proactive government, and it's not a good use of taxpayer dollars. In Ward F, we've already seen the strain. Our recent public meeting on one-way streets, bike lanes, and rapid bus lanes turned contentious. Those issues matter. They're central to traffic safety and mobility, but staff walked away from that meeting under-resourced. We can't afford to burn out the very people we rely on to make streets safer. I also want to be clear. I'm not here to hold up this budget. I understand that adopting the 2025 budget late puts the city at financial risk, including bond ratings that, in the end, affect property taxes for us all. My point tonight is that as you finalize this budget, please remember that underfunding infrastructure doesn't save money in the long run. It costs lives, and it leaves residents paying more for less. So my ask moving forward is simple. Invest in the Department of Infrastructure, clear the backlog of missing signs, shift from reactive ticket-driven maintenance to proactive safety improvements, and give city staff the support they need to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you. This is still a public hearing on the budget amendments to the calendar year 2025 municipal budget. Our next speaker, if you can just state your name for the record, sign my sign-up sheet, print, please, and spell your name for our court reporter.
Danielle, D-A-N-I-E-L-L-E, D'Adamo, D as in David, capital A, D-A-M-O.
Thank you. When you're ready.
Good evening, Council President, members of the City Council, members of the administration, and my fellow residents of Jersey City. My name is Danielle D'Adamo. I'm a lifelong resident of the Lower Heights and Journal Square area. I've seen the city change dramatically through good and bad times. I'm also a public school teacher on the West Side, a member of the Environmental Commission, and an advocate for safe streets, sustainability, and strong neighborhoods. I'm here tonight because the budget we pass today, we decide the quality of life my students, my neighbors, and all of us will live with tomorrow. We are here facing yet another tax increase. For many neighbors, this isn't abstract. It's a difference between keeping their home or being priced out. It's a difference between investing in their families or constantly scrambling. And it's especially hard in neighborhoods like mine when working families already feel squeezed. We're told this budget is balanced, but beneath the surface, the problems are clear. Our credit rating has been downgraded. Departments are underfunded and understaffed. Deficits are patched with one-time gimmicks. This isn't fiscal responsibility. It's passing the bill to taxpayers without fixing what's broken. We can and must do better. Here are 4 actions I urge you to take. 1, audit the finance department. A full independent review is needed to uncover waste and to stop the cycle of short-term fixes. 2, direct surplus to infrastructure and quality of life. Use surplus dollars where they matter most: safe intersections, pedestrian improvements, and engineering upgrades. Invest in our tree canopy, parks, and stormwater systems. These aren't just nice to have. They improve health, reduce flooding, lower cooling costs, and make our neighborhoods livable. No tax hike without transparency. If tax increases are on the table, show residents what alternatives were considered. No one should be asked to pay more without seeing the trade-offs, and plan beyond 1 year. Adopt multi-year budgeting with realistic forecasts, and build sustainability into every line item, because forestry, green infrastructure, and climate resilience are not luxuries, they're necessities. Why does this matter? Because every wasted dollar is a dollar not spent on safer streets for children walking to school, trees that reduce asthma and provide shade, parks that bring neighbors together, or infrastructure that prevents basements from flooding. Because raising taxes without fixing efficiencies erodes trust. And because fiscal health and environmental health are inseparable parts of quality of life. As a teacher, I see firsthand how city decisions ripple into classrooms. When a child comes in tired because their family is stressed about rent, when asthma keeps kids home because tree cover is low in their neighborhood, when traffic safety in your schools isn't funded properly. That's not just a budget line, that's a lived reality. In closing, council members, you have a choice. You can approve a budget that raises taxes and leaves problems unresolved, or you can demand accountability, sustainability, and long-term quality of life by investing in infrastructure, green space, and forestry alongside sound fiscal planning. I urge you to choose transparency, to choose equity, to choose sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you. This is still a public hearing on the amendments to the calendar year 2025 municipal budget. Any other member of the public wishing to be heard, please come up to the podium and state your name for the record.
Second.
Are you guys speaking?
Yeah.
Budget amendment. Come on up. Thank you, Council. If you would just be so kind to state your name for the record, spell it, and then if you see the sign-up sheet that's in front of you, you could just print your name there. I greatly appreciate it. And the time will not start until you start speaking, after you spell your name.
I just printed my name, Anne Marie Nazaro. It's good to be back. Good evening, and good evening to our small audience. I want to thank Clerk Gallagher's office. When I wanted to look at the budget, the PDF of 99 pages and the user-friendly, I was beautifully directed to where to find it online, and I looked at it in the Jersey City Public Library, West Bergen branch. So I thank the library and I thank your office.
Thank you.
I wanted to start, I'm Jersey City Together and Our Lady of Sorrows Parish on Claremont and Ocean. Jersey City Together has worked very hard in the area of housing, affordable housing, in the area of tenant rights and tenants' needs for stopping of exorbitant rents. One thing we've managed, and we've been acknowledged by Mayor Fulop at the groundbreaking, we've managed to get 35% affordable at Bayfront, correct? Yes. That's amazing. Across the nation, that's amazing. And we applaud the city and we applaud our efforts and other organizations that fought for that. When I scrutinized or looked through the budget as carefully as I could, I saw that we have a number of pilots that we give. Payment in lieu of taxes. And when you look at those, there are 2 pages, 3 columns each. And they tell you, is this pilot for market rate? Is it for affordable? Is it for mixed income? Is it for commercial? And when you add them up, I just want you to know, in the budget that we're talking about, 91 market rate and commercial pilots vis-a-vis 48 affordable housing and only 8 mixed income. That's 91 commercial and market rate against only 56 affordable and mixed. My question to the council and the administration and any powers that be, when a pilot is given to a developer for market rate housing, what, if any, percent is required to be affordable or mixed? This was indeed the original intent of that kind of gift in tax abatement, the pilot. It was to revitalize a city. Wow, are we revitalized? I don't think we're blighted anymore overall. We're very expensive to live in. And secondly, if it was affordable housing leaning, that was also the reason for the pilot, then we should see more pilots for affordable, not for market rate. So if you could please let me know where to find a spreadsheet that will tell me what the breakdown is for all the market rates, what percentage of affordable have their feet been held to the fire for? That would be helpful for Jersey City Together and for the city of Jersey City overall. The other thing I want to say is there's a wonderful quote, attribution is fuzzy, but it's quoted often. It was on the public health building, the public health school at Emory in Atlanta. And it says, the worth of a country is not judged or valued by the education of its people, by the wealth of its people, nor by the arts of its people. The real worth of a state or a city or a country is measured and valued by the health of its people. We are all about health in Jersey City Together, and Bill's going to speak to a 1.2 million that we've gotten put in the budget, and we want to have more information on that. We are really keen on getting a project out on the streets for mental health and also addiction crises. Police, they're trained in what they're trained in. They're not equipped for many of these crises. They need an outreach worker with them or in lieu of them. And my good friend and colleague, Bill Lillis, will speak to that. Thank you so much for your time. And again, thank your office, clerk.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker, if you can just state your name, spell your name, and print your name, and I greatly appreciate it.
My name is Bill Lillis, last name Lillis. So resident of Jersey City, a member of Jersey City Together, and a parishioner at Our Lady of Sorrows Church. So just noting, I know some of you were with the Washington family, but we had another anniversary of Drew Washington's death pass by, and one would hope by this time we would have had a comprehensive 24/7 program in place where mental health outreach workers go with police officers to address issues. So that remains a goal of Jersey City Together. And I think to honor the Washington family, I'd ask you to tend to the business as best you can regarding that effort. And we at Jersey City Together are happy to note that. Again, as Anne Marie said, that $1.2 million RFP that has floated out there, let's spend it. Let's do something that makes sense. So that's, again, something we're advocating for from Jersey City Together. And, I know when it comes down to the budget of public safety, I remember Mr. Gilmore's stating some of the issues he had when last minute or request for additional funding came in to the council. So it's clear that better attention needs to be made to the budget as it pertains to public safety. So as elected officials and with a campaign coming on, I think many elected officials would be saying, well, I'm going to brag that we're going to hire more police officers for Jersey City to make it safer. Jersey City Together, the Washington family, we'd much rather hear that there's a 24/7 program in place that meets the mental health needs. We'd much rather hear that there's a real effort at community policing that listens to what the needs of the community are. And we can see on the national level that now the use of law enforcement has been compromised in ways that I think are not only unconstitutional, but simply don't make sense. So again, addressing law enforcement and addressing the budget in a real meaningful way to meet the needs of the people, I think is good for the safety of the community and good for the health of the community. And I thank you for listening and thank you for your good work to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you. This is still a public hearing on the amendments to the calendar year 2025 municipal budget. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please come up to the podium and state your name for the record.
Motion. Second.
Motion to close the public hearing on the 2025 municipal budget amendment was made by Councilperson Saleh, seconded by Councilperson Rivera. On the motion to close the public hearing on the 2025 municipal budget amendment, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Hewlings.
Yes.
Councilperson Baggiano. Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0 with Councilperson DeGise absent to close the public hearing on the 2025 municipal budget amendments. There were no requests for a public hearing filed with me, so I'm going to move right on to our one sole resolution, which is 10.1, a resolution to adopt the calendar year 2025 municipal budget. On that resolution, on item 10.1, Councilperson Ridley.
I just want to say that I think this year it was good that the council actually did make an effort via Councilman Solomon's amendment to try to make some changes in the budget. Unfortunately, that did not pass, and this is a democracy and we must move forward. But I just wanted to, thank him for including some of those changes that that I know I requested to move some money around. So instead of saying we don't like the budget, actually attempting to do something to change it around, I think was a good thing for us to do this year. Similar to what the first gentleman said, we do have to make some more changes. The budget isn't perfect. I don't believe in holding it up because we are at the final hour. And I think that a lot of people did make an effort to try to get the best budget we could this time around. Could it be better? Yes, but I'm going to vote aye for this budget.
Thank you, Councilperson Hewlings.
Yes.
Councilperson Baggiano. Can't hear you, sir. Hold on.
I'll tell you what, yes.
Okay. Councilperson Saleh.
Going to vote aye. This budget is a marginal tax increase, less than 1%. I think a lot of the struggles that the city is going through with regards to the healthcare costs that we've had, they jumped up 25.4 million. There are a lot of departments that do require more staffing, and you have a lot of market pressures, increased cost of labor, increased cost of health insurance, increased cost of materials. And that's what the city's facing. It's going to require us to increase our revenues. And it's going to require another council, another administration to come in and look at this with a fresh lens. But what this budget does do is maintain like a holding pattern with where we're at. With regards to the budget amendment that was proposed at last week's council meeting, again, while it was well-intentioned, there are 3 months left in the year, and I would have voted for it 2 years ago, but with 3 months left, the Department of Infrastructure could not interview and onboard train those people within 3 months. And I actually asked that department prior to the vote if this would be a hindrance or a help. And they said it was actually going to be a hindrance to their critical mission, to filling out the rest of their duties for the year, all those remaining projects that they have, because they would have to allocate time to interview for those positions. They would have to allocate time to finding those engineers. And that is why I did not vote for it. And I see that the city is moving in a different direction, and we need to make sure that our priorities are, with the people. And with that, I vote aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Yeah, some of my vote is reminded by the Yogi Berra quote, "It's deja vu all over again." And the reason I say that is the flaws in this budget are the flaws that have been in every budget for the last really 8 years. First and foremost, most important, is this budget kicks the can down the road. It uses a one-time land sale, $25+ million, to plug a one-time budget gap. So whoever is the mayor next year, whoever is the council next year, they have to find $25 million to plug the budget before you even factor in the increases in healthcare and inflation and wages and all of those other factors. What that means is for the property owners, while this year you don't get that tax increase, it means it's just coming bigger next year. And that's not fair. And it's incumbent on the administration to plan for that. Now, it would be one thing if we said, look, this just happened this year because costs were high this year, but we've done it every year for the last 8 years. We've used one-time revenue sources, whether they be land sales or COVID money, to patch these budget holes. And, it's kind of like an addiction, right? By allowing us to kick the can down the road, we are harming the long-term health of the people, but we don't want to cold turkey. We don't want to fix it. And then while we're doing that, we are still neglecting some of the core priorities that the city needs. We do not have enough money for traffic enforcement. We do not have enough money for engineering. We do not have enough money for landlord tenant and for housing preservation. We do not have enough money for sanitation. We do not have enough money for recreation. Those are all core needs for the city that aren't funded at the level they need to be. So for me, it's a budget that kicks the can down the road and doesn't serve the overall views of the people. So with that, I vote no.
Councilperson Gilmore.
I just want to say, well, I vote no 2 times. But I do just want to say, I think as a whole, we've failed on multiple fronts. I think we had an opportunity to try to fix some things. And I also hate the fact that, in essence, your back is put against the wall because it's September 17th. You almost have to vote on the budget, or you're talking about state penalties and things of that nature. So it's bad timing, it's bad communication, it's a bad reflection on what regular Jersey City residents want. I constantly look at depleted Department of Recreation. It is so important that we have recreation and youth enrichment. I'm of the opinion that if you pay and invest on the front end, subsequently, you're not going to be responsible to pay on the back end. So for me, this budget is essentially a continuation of what's been happening for the past several years. And I just can't support a budget that doesn't look out for regular Jersey City folks. So I vote no.
Councilperson DeGise is absent. Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Finance Director, could you tell me and the public how much is this budget is increasing? I want the public to know and understand it first.
For the record, not the finance director.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Filling in for the proposed amendments. The total budget is increasing 5.5 million from what was introduced. The total budget is 750 million for the year. The proposed tax rate is 0.819.
0.819 and a 0.97% tax increase. On the average assessed home, the city average is 481,000. That'll be 3783 for the year, a little more than $3 per month on the average bill.
For this budget?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was on the record. Part of the challenge is, I appreciate Councilman Solomon introducing his portion of the budget. I had a concern because when we hire people, we have to pay for their health care too. And healthcare has pretty much doubled, and that was not pretty much factor in. But I think what I think some of us is missing is that part of the problem is the city is losing a lot of money. How we losing a lot of money is through our fees and our permits. That is just a gap. We don't. I mean, sometimes I'm driving around the city and, you know, the sweeper is there, but there's no one there to give out tickets. That's money being lost. Sometimes, you know, when you're going to out here on construction workers and certain construction sites should be getting fined because they're not abiding by the rules. And so that's money missing. I think if we can plug up those holes as a city and put more enforcement in the right places, I think the city can recoup the money that we missed because we came out of COVID 2 years and we missed that gap of that money. So now we have to make it up. Selling land is always not the best way to pin up, you know, to close up a budget, which I do understand. But going forward, I think what we should start looking at more and more is making sure we start recouping the money when it comes to the fees and the permits. We're losing too much money in this city, too much money. There's too many laws being broken in the city that we can make sure that people are fine and we get the money that the city deserves. And I believe this, if we can get that money, this city will be rolling because there's too many bad actors out here. I don't care. There's too many. And so I'm voting on the budget because it's just not, it's not just what we disagree with, it's what we agree with too. There's salaries on the line. There's bonds that don't be paid. I don't want to charge the taxpayers more money if we don't. See, there's a cause and effect of whatever we do. And so since the budget is being increased for based on, you said $37 per household, $3 a month. Correct? Okay, because I want the public to know that, because if the county increased their budget, I want to know where that money's coming from because it comes out of our taxes too. I want them to understand they should look to that. And if the school increase the taxes, I want them to understand how much that is coming from and what we did as a city, what we increase. Okay, so with that, I vote aye.
Item 10.1 is approved 6-2 with council members Solomon and Gilmore voting no. May I have a motion to adjourn at 6:34 PM?
Motion.
I heard the motion made by Councilperson Saleh, seconded by Councilperson Rivera. All council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
We are out of here at 6:34 PM. Thank you